I'm going to talk very briefly about this case. Bear with me. It is relevant, and it is going somewhere. This isn't a happy topic, but I feel like it needs to be talked about, man, because people got to be awake to this shit, man. So this happened about a year ago. So this is reported in January 3rd, 2019. So black 7-year-old slaying has Houston on edge. Police just released a sketch of the suspect. So a little girl was with her sisters and her mother. I believe they were at a store of some kind, and they were shot at. The mom was shot. The Jasmine Barnes, unfortunately, passed because of this incident. And a very little child dead. Her life was snuffed from this world for unknown reasons. And there was a sketch as you saw. I mean, this almost made international news, or it went international for like a second. Then it fell off, and you're gonna understand why in a minute. So rally on Saturday, funeral on Tuesday. We should not have to be doing any of this, but here we are. Our award for the arrest of the killer of 7-year-old Jasmine Barnes is now $100,000. This is Sean King throwing around $100,000. He's got that kind of money. He's that well connected. And then here's a little picture, a little poster for Jasmine Barnes. And then this is the sketch that was released. Here's the description. So Washington told reporters that he was a white man with blue eyes that was so skinny he looked sick, according to ABC 13. So this is a description that we often see or hear about from modern leftists in regards to crimes like this. Whenever like a crime is committed against a very brave person like Jasmine Barnes or her mother, it's always some little dick incel warrior. He's either fat and gross or just a scrawny, sickly-looking goblin white devil. And they need to be brought to heel, and they did what they did because they're emboldened by Trump's America. That's the narrative that has been shoved down the throats of Americans for about 5 years, probably longer than that, to be honest. I mean, I don't even want to go into all the nonsense from the Obama era, but this is what allegedly he looked like. This is what the mother reported. The mother survived. She was in speaking condition. She did her interviews while she was in the hospital. She had the gown on her and everything. So why would she lie? Why would she lie? Of course, she wants justice for her daughter. Let's continue, guys. I talk about Jasmine Barnes because that story went almost international, and this is getting just complete media silence. Of course, the lying press does what it does best. It covers for, runs interference for violent thugs who kill and victimize innocent people that can't hit it. Does his life matter? Does his story matter? Should the whole world know his story the way that they knew Jasmine Barnes' story, or Trayvon Martin's, or Tamir Rice's? Probably not, because he's got the wrong skin color. Look at him. He's an adorable kid. I mean, this is like when I have kids and if I have a son, this is what he's going to look like probably. This is actually kind of what I looked like when I was his age. Goodness, man. So 5-year-old North Carolina boy allegedly shot dead by neighbor. So Darius N. Sessoms, 25, allegedly shot and killed a 5-year-old Kennehinnit from Wilson, North Carolina. This is what he looks like. Look at this fucking loser. He's 25 years old, but motherfucker looks 40. So a 5-year-old North Carolina boy was allegedly shot dead by his neighbor while riding his bicycle outside his home over the weekend. Some more relevant details here. Police say the killing was not random, though they did not offer a motive, according to the news outlet. I wonder why. They didn't offer up a motive. So a sweet soul named Kennehinnit was taken from this world over a senseless act. Christina Pizziso wrote on the GoFundMe page, a beautiful 5-year-old baby boy riding his bicycle was shot by his neighbor point blank in Wilson, North Carolina. 1 minute he is enjoying his life, the next it all ends because he rode into his neighbor's yard. The bio reads, 5-year-old guys, nothing prepares a parent for the loss of their child. No child should ever have their future stolen from them. Here. So he's Sessoms, Darius, I'm just gonna call him Darius. So Darius has multiple felony drug charges from over the years. Yeah, of course, and he kind of looks like it too. Multiple felony probation violations and charges on his record for possessing stolen firearms. 25 years old, and he's already got a fucking sheet like that. What a fucking winner. But, apparently people like Darius, their lives take precedent over everybody else's because they're brave. They're very brave. And anything that happened to him, it's never his fault. It's never their fault. George Floyd was an angel, despite his career, criminal status, despite being on drugs and endangering every fucking person in a mile vicinity of his surroundings because he was driving while under the influence. He's a saint now. He's a saint now. He's a god now. You know, people worship George Floyd like regular Americans worship Jesus Christ. They got those stupid, goofy holograms. You know, like that thing with Tupac where he comes out as a hologram. Well, they had something like that for George Floyd. It's super fucking cringy. But you know, this is America now. This is America now. If you had the wrong skin color, they're not going to cover your fucking story, no matter how egregious the event. This is pretty fucking bad. This is terrible. What happened to this little boy? I can't imagine. I don't want to imagine the pain that the family is in. You know, I used to work with children, and I can't put my shoes. I can't put on Darius's shoes and understand why he would do something like this. And I don't want to, you know, go out on a whim and say that the story from that GoFundMe page is accurate, because I wasn't there. Obviously, there isn't enough information to go off of, but it seems pretty crystal clear that a black man, Darius, did shoot a white 5-year-old. You can't dangle any fucking reason in front of me for me to forgive or understand this behavior. There isn't an excuse for shooting a 5-year-old child. Even if it's on accident, there's no fucking excuse for it. But there is a GoFundMe. I'm going to be leaving a link in the description. So this is Justice for Cannon, another shot of this little child. So this is Gwen Hinnant, I believe the mother or the aunt probably. So on Sunday, August 9th, this precious angel was playing outside with his siblings when he was murdered. He was merely doing what he would do any other day, and that's playing with his sisters, riding his bike, doing what kids do, and all the innocence that comes with being a child. This family has faced unimaginable pain because of the senseless act of violence. We are asking for your donations to assist with anything that may be needed for expenses related to his service, funeral services, presumably. We offer our sincerest appreciation in this extremely difficult time. # Justice for Cannon. Praying for your family. I'm praying for this family too. They're going to need it. They're going to need our prayers tonight, guys. Hopefully, little Cannon can feel the warmth of God tonight. So I was talking about Jasmine Barnes earlier. There's a reason why I talked about Jasmine Barnes. Because they did find the shooter. Prosecutors named the second suspect in Jasmine Barnes' killing. I'm not even going to read all this shit. I'm going to show you who it is. This is the individual who ended up shooting and killing Jasmine Barnes. And as soon as that happened, poof, story does a disappearing act. The story is a magician, gone with the wind. I wonder why. And I think people should be asking the media why they do this. You know, why get people all riled up? You know, they say shit about the president like it's his fault. You know, like for people who don't live in the United States, I need you to understand something. First off, there isn't a police brutality epidemic. There isn't bias against one group or another in terms of arrests, in terms of policing. The way that policing works in the United States is, you know, the reports are made, right? So reports are made. That's how the police know where to go, where to patrol, where the action is at, based on reports, not arrests, not convictions. It's based on reports. So reports are, you know, they flare up in one given area, so then the police are always there. And a lot of times when there's a victim, they can usually name who the perpetrator was in their alleged crime that they experienced. Now, if you compare and contrast the amount of reports made, the amount of arrests and convictions, they're almost equal. You know, so it's like there's no bias there. I personally have not seen an example of bias. Maybe you can make a case for like New York where they had to stop and frisk, and even then the evidence that there were more bias against, you know, the demographic that cries about police brutality the most. That's even shaky at best. And to blame the president of the United States for, you know, the police brutality epidemic, if it even existed, people who don't live in the United States have to understand, or even people who do and just don't fucking get it, the police organizations throughout the country are not centralized. The president of the United States does not control them. So if what happened in Minneapolis with George Floyd, you know, like people are saying this was a racist event. This is a product of Trump's America, yada, yada, yada. And it's like, well, what did the president have to do with anything? He has nothing to do with Minneapolis police force. He didn't sign off on Derek Chauvin's application to become a cop. He never knew this man. It's very likely Derek Chauvin isn't even a fucking Republican. But nonetheless, the president is taking the blame for this. And, it's funny. Like Obama never took the blame for any of the fucking murders of like Eric Garner, Philando Castile, any of these other, fucking idiots who ended up getting killed. Most of these people, were doing something wrong. They were all just predicated on lies. The lie is that these people are being targeted. It's a modern day lynching. They're being hunted down like the fucking idiot LeBron James likes to say, though. They're hunting us down. They're hunting us down. Well, if you examine FBI crime data, we know who's doing the crimes. We know who's, we have a lot of information on interracial crimes. And it isn't going the way that LeBron suggests. There's just no evidence for that at all. At all. Literally at all. But just complete media silence after this. I was watching a podcast. Sean King was he ended up showing up on this podcast, and he was a guest on it, and he stated that he lost faith in the Jasmine Barnes story. The mother became an unreliable witness, and she's not forthcoming, and she's very dishonest. These are his words. He's like, yeah, we lost faith in this story. Maybe that's code for the perpetrator of the crime wasn't who we wanted it to be, and it's very inconvenient for us at this point. And they probably just ended up keeping the money anyways. And what did you do with that $100,000? Fucking shithead. Lucky, good for Sean King, man. Taking money from fucking idiots, pocketing it, living like a god. Good for him. Good for him. He won't receive a cent from me though. I'm too smart for that. But what is the solution for any of the shit that's going on in the country? What are we to do when we see the disparity in reporting by the fake news industry? And their reluctance to continue reporting on it and providing facts after the narrative has become shattered. It's almost like these people pray. They get on their knees and pray to the social justice gods or the devil that the offenders in all of these cases end up being white. And I ended up noticing this when I was younger. I was a teenager or in my early 20s. And whenever there was like a mass shooting, people were literally like, please don't, please be white. Please be white. And it's like, why? Like, what? Like, it was so, and I was like a liberal all the time. I was like a hardcore liberal. And I'm just like, I don't understand why people have that train of thought. It's just like, it's like violence is happening. Like, what do we got to do to make it end? Like, why is race germane to the topic? And now I kind of get it. It's just like, no matter what, these people are never to be held responsible for their actions. The narrative is more important than justice. The ideology is more important than the truth. And it seems like the victims of the double dealing and the duplicity of the media is unfortunately going to be white people. And it's unfortunate, but it's expected that the universities, the fake news industry, and even our local politicians are running cover and interference for people like this who kill Jasmine Barnes. And it's also even more unfortunate that now that content creators are gaining more relevance, are becoming more important for basically talking about these types of events. Now they're joining in on the fake news. Unfortunately, people like the Yankee Marshal, he runs cover and interference for violent thugs. Like he just literally hours before making this video, he published a video. I forgot the title of it, but he's basically lying about the events in Chaz, the events in Portland. He's like, oh, they're just throwing water bottles. Oh, I'm an ally. I'm trying to make them look good. That's what he says. That's what he does. He's a fucking hack. He's a fucking liar. And people are calling me out in the comment section of the last video that I published. And I reached out to him on Instagram. I reached out to him on Twitter. I was like, hey, man, you want to have a conversation? Let's talk about shit. Let's talk about Portland. Let's talk about Chaz. And let's talk about Mr. Guns and Gear. I want to put his character on fucking blast the way that he put Mr. Guns and Gear on blast and other content creators here on the platform, because we're all supposed to be on the same side. We're all supposed to be bros. Like, I don't want to dislike this guy, but I do now. It's abundantly clear to me that he's just a fucking hack. He's a fucking liar, and he doesn't know what he's talking about. Seriously, Yankee Marshal, stay in your fucking lane, bitch. And, please pray for that family. Please pray for Cannon's family. I can't imagine what they're going through. Like I said, I don't want to, man. This is too much, man. You know, like what is going to change in the future? How are like what are people like? Like people see this and they're going to think we just have to avoid people like that. You know, now because the trust in this country is going to be eroded, and the trust is going to be among racial lines. It likely already is, and we just don't have accurate figures on that because of what's going on. You know, there's been months of violent rioting. People like the Amazing Atheist, the Yankee Marshal, they're running interference and cover for these violent thugs, and they're acting as if it's all peaceful. There's no violence. No one has died. I mean, this is what they're asserting. They're asserting it's this evil Trump goons are fucking up innocent, you know, protesters who just want justice. They just want equality. Well, it's like we already have the equality. We're already equal under the law. You know, like it's over now. Like now we have other problems to deal with, and it's not likely it's going to be solved anytime soon because people can't speak honestly about them. Shameful. Shame. If you're a subscriber of the Yankee Marshal, honestly, unsubscribe to him because he's lying to you. He's an unreliable person. Same with the Amazing Atheist. Luckily, his relevancy has been you know, falling off the cliff. Oh yeah, and by the way, and I'm probably going to repeat this again in another video, but no, I'm not going to get into it yet. I'm not going to get into it. Saving it for another video. But yeah, please pray for the family, guys. I hope you're all doing well. Look out for your kids, man. You got kids. Look out for your kids. Because it's getting wild out there, and there's a lot of racial animus, especially towards white Americans. And you know, I tell these people just stay the fuck away from the protests, stay away from the riots. You know, fuck being an ally. Think about your family. Think about your life because they don't care. They don't care about you. They will fucking kill you. That's where we're at. That's where we're at in this country, guys.